Hi, I'm Armand.
And this is Tyler.
And welcome to Govberg Watches. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're looking at the Piaget Altiplano reference G0A39110 in 18 karat rose gold. You can see this watch in our Ardmore Suburban Square location and find out more at govbergwatches.com. Also download our app, Govberg On Time, for the latest news and orological reviews. On Tyler's wrist, 16 centimeters, 6 1/3 inches, this watch completely disappears, and I mean that in a fantastic way. The watch's 38mm diameter and 42mm lug end to lug end measurement are completely thrown out the window when one considers the 3.65mm thickness. 3.65 millimeters. That makes this the thinnest mechanical watch in the world. Truly an amazing feat by Piaget. Onto the case. As one would expect, there really isn't too much to this watch's case. Its two-piece design is entirely high polish, with the exception of the caseback, which has a circular grained brush finish. Also, adorning the caseback, we see the Piaget coat of arms. Something really interesting that stood out to me about the case are the lugs. At first glance, one may think that the lugs are very simple, and they are, but if we look at their profile, we can see this sort of foot that extends from the bottom. It's a neat little Art Deco sort of touch that is very Piaget. Now we're going to talk about the movement and the dial sort of interchangeably, considering that they're almost the same. The Piaget manufactured 900P is beyond interesting in multiple ways. When we talk about mechanical watches, we have a case, movement, and dial. In this case, they're all sort of one and the same. This is not a movement that can be removed from the case, but rather a movement that is the case. The caseback of the watch acts as the base plate. This automatically makes the watch thinner by removing a layer. The dial also saves space. It's smaller and off-centered. Rather than laying a dial on top of the movement, they recessed it into the movement. On this particular watch, the dial doesn't necessarily stop where the time is told. It goes beyond that, using the entire gear train as well as balance wheel as dial decoration in a sense. One of the main concerns when designing this piece was potential pressure against the crystal pressing onto the watch's hands. Piaget invented an entirely new system that fits the hands below the main bridges rather than atop of them. Despite this watch being the thinnest mechanical watch in the world, it still boasts a power reserve of 48 hours. Tyler, what do you think of the Altiplano?
I think the Altiplano is an exceptional orological masterpiece in terms of its architecture and how thin it is. The strap on this piece that we can see here, it's a very minimally bolstered and thin gray alligator strap with this beautiful rose gold Piaget engraved pin buckle, and you can see how Piaget is off-center actually, which makes for a nice additional touch, and since it's a tang buckle, it can be easily adjusted on the fly. I think this is an exceptional dress piece for someone who wants a dress piece that's non-traditional, someone who doesn't want a traditional Piaget or potentially like a Patek Philippe 5119 or a 5120. I think this makes for something that's a little bit more interesting to look at, but also accomplishes that thin aspect that you want out of a dress watch.
Absolutely. This has been Armand
and Tyler
showing you the Piaget Altiplano reference G0A39110 in 18 karat rose gold. See it live at our Suburban Square location in Ardmore, or give us a ring at 610-664-1715 to chat watches with us.